daughter is over the age of 20, well, 19 or 20, and she's working and she's living her life and doesn't call me and doesn't stay in contact with me. I was in her life on a constant basis from the time that she was about 12 to now, or to a short time ago, or a while ago, I should say. But I was in there on a constant basis. I paid all my child support. I gave her money for anything she wanted. So I don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. And if anybody's told you that I have neglected her in the least, they don't know what they're fucking talking about. And I have a sneaking suspicion who probably told you that. And every time I go for something of myself or for myself in my life, like a woman or like a job or anything else, they get told that I am selfish and that I neglected my kids and that I was not there for my kids, even though nobody told me I had more than one child. I found out recently I had a son. So every time that I go for something for myself, I get flatly, denied because people look at me as a deadbeat dad or anything else, and this lie has been told for a number of years, but you know what, it's not true. From the time that she was 12 years old to the time that she was, basically now, I gave her money for clothes, I gave her money for school, I gave her money for everything. She contacted me a while ago, I gave her money for a phone, I gave her money for a SIM card, I gave her money for countless shit. And I'll tell you what, I'm really sick of this because every time I try to go for something for myself, I get called selfish. And every time I go for something that I want, that's mine, or that's, that I would like in my life, that I like comfort or something, then I get told that I'm selfish and that I'm not allowed to have it. And you know what? I have every right to have something in my life, like a woman that's mine, and comfort and things to that nature. And I'll tell you something about Rodica Greco. She killed her dog. She blamed me for it. She slandered me on the internet, called me rapist, among other things. Her husband copped to getting me fucking sexually assaulted in the gospel mission. So, you know what? She was spying on me while I was in her home. She tried to break into the room that she had me in because she had tools sitting there that she had used to kill her dog, and a tool that was used to gouge out that little dog's fucking eye. I found that dog. That dog was near death. It had been tortured, to which she replied that some people like dogs in foreign countries and consider them a foreign delicacy. I don't have to justify this shit to anybody, especially you or anybody else. All I wanted was something that was mine for once. And every time that happens, I get told I can't have it because I'm too selfish and too this and too that and too everything else. And too over the hill and too this and too that and too whatever else. And I know what somebody told you. Somebody told you that I needed to feel some sort of accountability for all this shit. And you know what? All I feel on a daily basis is fucking pain. You understand what I'm saying? Pain. Because my body is beaten to shit. And I get infection after this, after that, after everything else. I shower every day. You think that makes a difference? No. So I paid my child support for her. I would have paid child support for my son had I known that he was alive, but I didn't. Until I went to Compass House, as a matter of fact, and somebody clued me in on the fact that I had more than one child. But every time I go for something that's mine, something that's concrete, something that I can have in my life that is even close to comforting or whatever, I get called a fucking selfish piece of shit. And do I want Rodica in my life? Not even remotely. She killed her fucking dog. She fucking told everybody that I did it. She was gaslighting me while I was in her home. She's a fucking lying pig. And I've had it with that bitch. She is not my guardian angel. She's a piece of cow shit. I don't want her anywhere near me. Because if she gets anywhere near me, I might forget myself and fucking stab the bitch. And yet in all this, you know what? I'm the one that's the fucking bad guy, the bad egg, the piece of shit, whatever. And you know what? That's not even remotely how that goes or how that works. And I get building a bridge. I get it. I get showing the world that I'm not as bad as they seem to think that I am, and that I fucking paid my child support and I was there for that kid on a constant and consistent basis. And Rodika's a fucking lying twat. But it's like people are more ready to go for the people that have lied freely and slandered me in the name of some sort of sick, twisted, sadistic enjoyment rather than somebody that worked hard for 20 years, that paid his child support, that was an upstanding member of his community for the most part. The only problem was, according to certain people, one person in particular, he was sheltered. So it was time for him to learn who he was, really who he was, and everything to that nature. But you know, I'll tell you what right now, all right? Like I said, every time I go for something that's mine, something that's concrete, something that I want, I wind up with egg on my face. And that's like a true fact. And what I wanted was you, Selena. And I, up till this point, thought that I had a clear shot at getting you because of the fact of what I had been told and the things that I had seen for an extended period of time. And now it would appear that I have been messed with. According to somebody else, they were messed with. The only thing is they weren't messed with because I was not romantic towards them in the least. I did not want to be romantic towards them in the least because there was no fucking attraction there. And I'll tell you one other thing. My daughter was not neglected when she was a kid. She was not misused. She was not abused. She was loved by everybody. She had some problems when she was a kid. There is something that occurred. But I was always there for that kid, and I'm not going to apologize to anybody for something I didn't do. I paid my child support and everything else, and I was there for that kid. And I seem to remember something in this particular thing earlier about me, what was that now? Me showing some accountability. Meanwhile, nobody else shows any accountability for anything, and apparently I'm not allowed to have anything in my life that even resembles comfort or love or happiness, except for that fucking fat pig, which, by the way, is never going to happen in life, or the woman that somebody else deems necessary to pick for me. So, I mean, that being said, you're welcome to pick whoever you wish, and I'm welcome to tell you to go fuck yourself in the meantime and in between time. Because, contrary to popular belief, I still get flirted with. It's true. It's really true. And if I have to bide my time a bit longer before I can find someone that wants to be with me, so be it. But it's going to be the right woman, because I'm not getting into a relationship for simple physical needs. Because I haven't met one woman save about one or two, and one of them is in this conversation. Maybe in this conversation, that I could stomach going to bed with. And that thrill is like going away really quickly. And you did this primarily because that's what she wanted you to do. And that's what she had arranged because she's a sadistic bitch. But the one thing that you need to realize is I paid my child support for 18 years. That kid never wanted a fucking thing. I worked my ass off and paid my child support for my kid. So you know what, that being said, and after you are saying now what you are saying, that you have played with my feelings and gutted my emotions, well, that's up to you, but you need to get your facts straight before you get on your high horse, okay? So I'll wait for a response for a little bit, but other than that, have a really great night.